Hello there, my name is Ben Worthington. In this tutorial we're looking at Band 7 features, mainly for the writing, and we're going to look not only at the importance of these band descriptors, we're going to look at aiming for a Band 7 and above, we're going to look at understanding complex structures, advanced grammatical structures, and the role of punctuation. So again, as per normal, this is a high value tutorial. No waffle, no chit chat, just solid study. Grab a pen, make notes, make sure you remember this stuff. Let's get started. Now, with the IELTS exam, a lot of students, amazingly to me, they never even look at the band descriptors. Now you need to look at these descriptors because if you are going for a Band 7, that's almost like a map. You've got to look, you've got to see what the examiner is expecting from you. You need to know what level you're probably at and what you need to do to get to the level you want to be at. So have a look. They're not only crucial for the grammar, but they'll also be valuable for lexical resource, task response, and this is the case for both task 1 and task 2, and also just review them for the speaking. It'll just help you understand what the examiner's looking for when they're reviewing your work. Now I think that's my little boy who wants to get on this podcast. Maybe he will be, but at the moment he's not allowed. It's probably why he's screaming. Anyway, I wanted to mention the online essay checker we have at IELTSpodcast.com can help you, can speed up your progress in this because you're going to get an estimated band score. Now, if you want a more accurate estimation, then you need to upgrade to the premium one, and we will measure more data points. And just one admission, and this hurts me, being a native English speaker from Britain, this hurts me a lot. But I've discovered that if you set it to American spellings and grammar, it's a little bit more accurate. And this hurts me because obviously I want to write in British English, but we're working on trying to improve it. Right then. If you're going for a Band 7, which is probably the most common one, if you're going for immigration, professional purposes, or even if you're studying, it's essential to aim higher than a Band 7. So essentially, you're setting yourself a goal of a Band 8. Okay? If you're in a rush, maybe you just set it a little bit higher and go for a Band 7. The reason is, there's two reasons. One is it's just logical, to aim higher than you actually have to go. So you force yourself to over prepare, and then this will save you money. Okay, because, if you're over preparing, you're going to, you won't present for the exam until you're comfortably getting a Band 7.5. Now, a lot of students, they'll aim for a 7. They might just scrape that 7 in one exam. But because they've been trying so hard and focusing so hard on their writing, they let their reading skills slip. Or they just totally neglected their speaking skills. And then they do the exam and they get that 7. They focus so hard on, they get that 7 in the writing. And in the meantime, their reading skills have slipped. And so they're back where they started from, and this explains a lot of the frustration. Whereas if they'd have just set the goal for the 7.5, it might have taken a little bit longer. It might have been more difficult. But they set the goal for the 7.5, and obviously they're still maintaining their reading, speaking, listening skills. Then it's far more likely you'll just take the one exam rather than the IELTS casino, rather than taking it again and again and putting money in the British Council, which none of us want to do. Now, the second reason why I strongly suggest you go for a band 7 is because these band scores are a little bit misleading. This is what I found in my career as an IELTS tutor, and ex-IELTS examiners have confirmed this. You see, on paper, it looks like going from band 5 to band 6 would be just as hard as going from band 6 to band 7. And likewise, going from band 6 to 6.5 should be as easy as going from 6.5 to band 7. However, from experience, the jumps going from 5 to 5.5 to 6 to 6.5, most students can do that relatively quickly until they get to 6.5. And this is why so many students get stuck at 6.5. You see, the jump from 6 to 6.5 is usually far easier and quicker than the jump from 6.5 to 7. And likewise, the jump from 7 to 7.5 or even to 8 is probably even bigger again. So this is why it's essential to aim for a 7.5 in your writing, even if you just need a band 7, because it's going to push you to over prepare, and you'll be better prepared for this larger jump that is needed. And just to sum it up, aim for the stars, you might reach the moon. So following that advice, you're going to save some money, and also not to mention that horrible predicament, that horrible situation of going and doing IELTS again and again and again. The frustration, the nerves, it's tiring, and nobody deserves that. Point number 4 I want to mention: understanding complex structures. Complex structures are sentences with more than one subject and verb. Common examples include sentences with connectors like and but, although, and relative clauses. For instance, while there are advantages, the disadvantages are greater. So there we've got that clause. We started off with the conjunction while, and you need to get to grips with these complex sentences, with the clauses, with the relative clauses, the subordination, all of that. On one hand, you don't have to learn the whole grammatical theory behind it. You can just start getting comfortable with writing it and understanding it more sort of like on a natural level. However, on the other hand, learning the formal rules may help you. Learning the formal rules and different structures to copy paste may help you. It depends what kind of learner you are, and it's your responsibility to figure it out yourself. Okay, do I learn better with videos? Do I learn better when I just focus on the grammar rules? Do I learn better just by action and just getting writing, getting, and taking action and just doing rather than receiving? So it's up to you. A lot of students learn different from their colleagues, so it's up to you just to figure out what works better for you. But please don't fall into the trap of just vegetating on the couch like a couch potato. Just watching YouTube or watching TikToks about IELTS, it's not going to help you. It might sound like you're getting some value, but the real value is, putting pen to paper, taking action, getting feedback, and actively learning. That's why I usually say grab a pen, take notes, and you'll be improving your listening skills and getting some solid, useful advice. Now then, advanced grammatical structures. 3 useful ones I'm going to mention briefly. Participle clauses. These start with active participles like ing, or past participles like ed, and they're just higher level points. So for example, having worked with children, I have learned. Okay? So these are just some quick advanced grammatical structures you can use in your next writing. Inversion. Now this involves starting a sentence with a negative adverb or using only if or only when. Here's an example. Rarely do we see parents, or only when parents teach will children learn. And these are sort of like the stylistic elements I've mentioned in a previous tutorial. The stylistic elements the band 7, 8 and 9 students will be incorporating into their essays. Fortunately, there is a shortcut to using all of these structures and plenty more. When you use a framework that has these baked in, then it's far easier to not only use them in your essay writing, you're forced to use them in your essay writing, but they sound more natural, and you're using them in a low risk kind of like version, because you've got the structure already there and you're just dropping in your ideas or the vocabulary. So it's very important, it's very valuable, especially if you're in a hurry to pass. Now these Band 9 frameworks, you can get them in the course, and to get the course at a tremendous discount, you go to the essay checker we have online, the online essay checker, and then you sign up and you'll get a series of emails with some offers which offer the course, the Band 9 frameworks course, at a tremendous discount. Now the final structure is fronting. These sentences start with an it clause. For example, it is the responsibility of. They're quite straightforward. You probably wouldn't think that they are advanced grammatical structures, but this is why it's important to get some solid advice so you know what you're writing. Again, our Band 9 frameworks have these phrases in them already, so it's far more straightforward. Final point before we conclude this tutorial: punctuation and the role of commas. Punctuation plays a vital role in writing. Overusing or underusing the commas can disrupt the flow of your writing. This is why I'm not a big fan of Grammarly. When I used Grammarly last time, it shoved commas in everywhere, and I was like, that's totally not necessary. Google Docs, in my experience, is a far more balanced viewpoint, a far more balanced use, suggests a far more balanced use of commas and punctuation. Of course, it's not perfect, but it is, in my opinion, is superior. So again, get used to using these, experiment, put them into your essay, take them out of your essay, get the feedback, experiment, and eventually you will find a balance. So that's it. In conclusion, mastering these complex structures, understanding punctuation, aiming higher than you actually need, reviewing the band descriptors, are all these sort of like steps you need to make sure that you're going to score a band 7 or higher. Now, if you are struggling with the IELTS exam, then you're in the right place, because at the moment we've got the essay checker, which checks your essay using artificial intelligence, gives you an estimated score. You can do this for free. If you want a more detailed feedback, then you can upgrade. It's like $9, and with this you don't even have to write new essays. You can just find your old essays, put them through, and you'll be able to see the score. You'll be able to work on those ones rather than starting from zero. Second, you need this because if you're in a rush, if you've got your exam coming up in the next week, then you might not have the luxury to wait a day, 2 days to get the feedback from a human essay corrector. With the online one, you can get quick and easy feedback. Third, when you do upgrade, you're going to get the opportunity to get all our courses, including the Band 9 frameworks, which you'll find just instantly upgrade your essay, and they're relatively simple to use. You just drop in your ideas and the vocabulary that you want to use on your topic, and the essay is half written. And I say half written because you do need to do this various times to get comfortable with it. I would be lying if I said just get the frameworks and you're done. You get a Band 9 and you're off to Scotland, you're off to Toronto. That would be dishonest of me. So what really happens is you get the frameworks, you write an essay using these frameworks. And it's difficult. It's probably difficult the first time you do it. But then you write a few more and you start getting used to the structure. You start getting more feedback. You start making it your own. And that's where the rapid improvement happens. Now, if you need any more help, then just go to ieltspodcast.com. And while we're talking about automatic essay corrections, actually, if you're a developer, if you're a smart developer, and you probably are if you're listening to this tutorial, if you're a smart developer and you're skilled with AI, with machine learning, with Python, with LangChain, LangFlow, all of this new, and GPT, all of this new beautiful technology, then get into contact. We're going to build the best speaking app for IELTS students the world has ever seen. It's going to be mock exam, then you're going to have drills. I'm basically going to transfer all the knowledge in my speaking confidence course, and you're going to be able to interact. We're going to be able to do the drills, which improve your fluency, improve your coherence. You're going to get all the techniques, and you're actually going to be able to use them in this new tool. But I need a developer. I need somebody skilled to partner with to get this project up and running. We've got an MVP out. We're moving quickly, but ideally, you'll be able to join us. And the main goal is, first, we're going to dominate IELTS. We're going to help all the students that cannot afford a speaking tutor. They are finally going to get what they deserve, which is inexpensive speaking help, inexpensive speaking tutorials, probably even free, just like we did with our essay checker. This is going to help students in remote areas. This is going to help students who cannot access a tutor, who doesn't have the luxury of having a native English speaker in their village, in their town. This is going to help the students who cannot even afford to have a native English tutor, or a tutor for that matter. This is going to help the students that are unfairly disadvantaged because of where they are or what they earn. And these students deserve, just like all the rest of us, deserve to be able to study in Canada, in the UK, in Australia. And they can't do it because they can't afford a tutor. So they're not able to take the IELTS, so they're not able to get to Canada, to Australia, wherever. And it's time it ends, basically. It's time it ends. First, we're going to help the IELTS students, and then we're going to move on to general English. That's the roadmap. I want smart people. If you're interested, then send us an email to ben@ieltspodcast.com. Put developer in capital letters in the subject line, and we'll jump on a call. And we're moving fast with this. We're moving fast. It's a big roadmap ahead. I love you to be perfect. Have a beautiful day. Keep moving. You can do this. You're going to pass the IELTS eventually. Just keep your head down. Keep working. And you'll get there.
Thanks for listening to IELTSpodcast.com.